It is Chris Country, delighted to be joined by Dan and Shay. Hey guys.
Hey man, good to see you.
So, I was looking into this. You only met less than 4 years ago.
Yeah, we did. We met on December 7th, 2012 to be exact. We met at a house party in Nashville. We both moved there to be songwriters because we love country music. And it was funny, you know, Shay came over to my house. It was the worst house ever. No heat, no air conditioning, no locks on the doors. But, you know, it was whatever it was to get by. And you know, we just met by chance at this party and we started singing together like, you know, people do in Nashville. There was a guitar there and there were girls that we were trying to impress. And we were singing cover songs till like 3, 4 in the morning. And then for some reason we decided to write a song the next day, you know, a few hours later. And, you know, that first song we wrote got put on hold for Rascal Flatts, who was, you know, one of our favorite bands of all time. And that was like that moment where it kind of clicked and we're like, wow, this is insane, man. We should do this some more. And we haven't stopped ever since, you know, a couple years in the making and here we are. It's crazy.
Wow. So less than 4 years, there's 2 albums recorded, including the new one we've got here called Obsessed. So you guys must have a pretty cool sense of the other one and what you're thinking and what you're doing and when you're writing together and performing and all that. I mean, that sometimes it takes a lifetime to get a friendship like that, but you seem to have...
It is, man. It's like, I mean, when you spend pretty much 24 hours a day with another person, it's like being on the bus with a band. It's your family, and you can pretty much finish each other's sandwiches. That's what I was gonna say. No, man, it's been awesome to be able to do this with someone else is, I think, a lot more fun. Whenever doing it alone, I'm sure is a great thing, but whenever you can travel around and do it with your best friend is something special, and we can keep each other in check, and no matter what happens, good or bad, we can either share in those experiences or be there, and it's not as bad when you have to go through the bad times with another person. So,
and you're from Pennsylvania and Arkansas. Those are kind of different places.
Yeah, man, they're pretty far apart, a lot of miles apart. But yeah, Nashville is the hub of country music, and everybody goes there to chase that dream. And we both, it's kind of like a central point, it's like 8.5 hours to each place in opposite directions. So Nashville was like our central meeting location, and, a lot of great country music coming out of Nashville, and it's a very inspiring place. So, we're lucky that we moved there, and it's crazy how it all happened. Had Shay not come to that party that night, we may not be here on one of the coolest trips of our lives.
We'll want to find out all about the tour in a moment or two, and also the new album, but let's just go back to where it all began. Which included Show You Off and 19 You and Me, both songs that we play a lot on Chris Country. When you wrote that and released that, it must have been a bit of a kind of a, let's see what happens. This could go either way.
It was, man. It was scary. I mean, it was kind of one of those moments where we had in the writer's room where Dan and I both knew that this was the kind of songs that we had been trying to write for a long time. And there was just something special, I think, in our writing chemistry. And whenever we submitted those songs to the record label, they were pretty much demos. I mean, that was pretty much the finished product when we put out, our album, and they were just a bunch of demos that we had made in our buddy's basement. So to put out a song like that, like 19 You and Me as our first single, and you don't know what's going to happen. You go out to radio, you go on radio tour, and you're meeting with all these people, and you hope for the best, but you really don't. And in the end, you don't know exactly what's going to happen. And it was awesome to to have all the support from radio and from fans, and it's a crazy thing. I mean, it really is very a vulnerable thing to put out a body of work that you've worked so hard on, and just to kind of see what happens.
Can you remember the first time you heard one of your Dan and Shay songs on the radio?
Yeah, we were sitting in Shay's Jeep. Actually, our friend was working at the local radio station, and she was like, "We're gonna play your song." So of course we freaked out and ran out into the driveway and got in the car. We blasted it. I feel like it came on like an hour later. We were sitting in the car, like wasting gas for a while. But
days we were sitting there.
No, it was cool. It was such an insane feeling. And still to this day, we freak out when we hear our music on the radio. We grew up listening to country radio, and it's just a surreal moment every time our song comes on. And I feel like if you look at our group chat, besides like the inappropriate pictures we send each other, but all the other texts are like, dude, our song's on the radio. Our song's on the radio. It's really, really cool. So it never gets old.
Well, we're going to hear a song off the new album shortly. Let's play one off the first album first. 19 You and You plus me, you and me.
You and me, man.
You and me.
Yeah.
That I'll tell you about the plus later. That causes all sorts of problems with our computers when we play that song. But let's play that song. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah, man, that was one of the first songs that we had ever written. It was kind of funny about that story about that song. We were writing the whole entire song. We pretty much had the whole thing finished, and we didn't have a title, and we finally got a title to the song. But that song's special. We wrote that with our buddy Danny Orton, And he grew up, going to Myrtle Beach as we did as well, and he had his honeymoon there, so that was a special place for him. And it was cool to be able to take, 3 different people's perspectives and 3 different stories and kind of combine them and make this story that was 19 You and Me. And I think it's a nostalgic song, and I think everyone's been there. Everyone's had that moment of young love, and I think everyone can relate to it. So this is one of our favorite songs. This is still one of our biggest songs.
Such a mellow vibe to it as well. This is Dan and Shay. It's 19 You and Me.
It was our first week at Myrtle Beach, where it all began.